I'm choosing to help you release your neck pain and stiffness lying down, because when you're lying down, your muscles are completely relaxed. And I just feel like the therapy will be a lot more effective. Hi, Dr. Malka here, your chiropractor and acupuncturist practicing in Los Angeles, California. And we're going to get started with massage, and then we're going to continue with stretches, and then finally some exercises, all of which you can do lying down on the floor or on a table. So for the neck, it's a little difficult to do a lot of my homemade massaging tools, like the tool tennis balls and a sock. So you can come in and massage with your fingers and release that neck. But better yet, if you have a Theracane or a tool like this, it'll be a lot more helpful. So let's start up at the top of the neck. So at the top of the neck, you have these muscles called suboccipitals. You don't have to remember that. I'm not going to test you. But they're the ones that are right below your skull. And normally with the neck muscles, you would just come right in directly like this. But with the suboccipitals, you almost want to come in at a 45-degree angle to really penetrate these muscles. And again, I'm just going to go back and forth with the Theracane across the muscles. Now this muscle is also responsible for that wraparound headache. So as you're pressing in here with your Theracane, if you feel it going around the head, just kind of pause. A lot of times massaging these muscles are almost like a crystal ball. You can almost predict like, oh wow, if this is causing headaches with pressure, then maybe this muscle's tight enough that it gets a little bit tighter. You'll have headaches even without applying pressure. So let's come to the other side. Again, you're going to bring this knob in at a 45 angle and just rock back and forth against that muscle. And again, you can come in here and do this with your fingers or with your knuckles. You don't need oil or lotion. You can just get in there and dig in there. Your fingers might start getting a little tired though, but you can still give yourself relief. So we're done with those suboccipitals that are high up. So with the rest of the neck muscles, just a matter of finding the spine, dropping off, and just coming back and forth across those muscles. And then drop down and go back and forth across those muscles. So moving on with stretching, just as a rule, if your pain from 0 to 10, 10 being a lot of pain, 0 being none, if your pain is 5 or above, you should really just continue the massage until your pain levels drop down. Because if you start stretching when you're in too much pain, you could actually make it worse. But so I'm assuming your pain is below a 5, and we're going to continue with the stretching. So dropping the head to the side, the ear to the shoulder, bring it down like this, and bring your hand here to help it a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to push up like this without changing the range of motion for 10 seconds with 10% of your strength. And to emphasize this stretch a little more, you can even get this arm and drop it down and see if you can drop that shoulder down as well. That'll intensify the stretch. And then relax. Drop it down again. Push up for 10 seconds with 10% of your strength in this direction. And repeat this 3 to 5 times. And then come to the other side. Drop the ear to the shoulder. We call this lateral flexion. Bring the hand here and push up against your hand in this direction for 10 seconds with 10% of your strength. And don't forget to get this hand and really try to reach down to your toes. That'll really create a really good stretch. And then relax. And then drop the head down more. Push up against your hand for 10 seconds with 10% of your strength. And then we could just continue this as if we're sitting while we're doing this stretches. Go ahead and go into rotation as far as you can go, which is to comfort zone. You don't want this to be painful. Stretching should never be painful. Put your hand here and you're going to rotate against the hand, except you're not going to change the range of motion. Then again, 10 seconds with 10% of your strength. Relax. Can you cause it to turn a little bit more? Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I got a little more range of motion there. And then I'm going to push up against my hand in this direction for 10 seconds with 10% of my strength. And again, if you find a side that's a little tighter than the other side, just do a little more stretching on that side that feels a little tighter, because this way you're going to create balance. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to rotate all the way over, put my hand here, push up like this for 10 seconds with 10% of my strength, and relax. Rotate a little more. Put the hand here, push up against your hand, again like this, for 10 seconds with 10% of your strength. And again, repeat this 3 to 5 times. Now, depending on the level of intensity of the stiffness of your neck, I'm going to show you a couple ways of doing exercises to strengthen the neck. So the first one would be very simple. Just press against the table or the floor with about, I would even say, 20 to 30% of your strength. You could really go to town on this. And just hold it for 10 to 15 seconds and release. And then you could repeat this, pressing the head against the table or bed or floor, and release. And then put your hand here and press against your hand in this direction without changing the range of motion. So go ahead and press against your hand. Again, for 10 to 15 seconds, holding it nice and steady. And then for the ear to the shoulder strengthening exercise, you could put your hand here and just press into your hand. And I'm strengthening this side of my neck. Again, you can hold this for 10, 15 seconds. Come to the other side. Push in this direction. And this also, these isometric exercises I'm showing you are really good for when you wake up with that stiff neck and you can't move it at all. This is the number one thing to do. And then let's do rotation, which would be like this. And again, I'm going to hold my head straight and just push against my hand like this. 10 to 15 seconds and release. And you can repeat that again, rotating without actually rotating, right? Turning your head behind you. And then the other side. Put the hand here and rotate like this without changing the range of motion. Just pushing against my hand. And you could be pretty aggressive with the amount of strength you push with. And relax. And then you can repeat this again. So now we're going to do these exercises with movement. And then drop the ear to the shoulder. Put your hand here and push down against that hand. And then to the other side, drop the ear to the shoulder and then push down in this direction against your hand. And then we can continue with rotation. Go as far as you can in rotation. Put your hand here and push into your hand like you're looking behind you to the right. And then to the other side, rotate. Put your hand here and push against your hand like that. So if your neck feels a lot looser, go ahead and subscribe. Help me out with my channel so I can keep making you guys some great content. And don't forget to comment.